Hey everybody, Shawn Holsinger here from HolsingerFlyShop.com. Bringing another time video today, and today it's a Euro nymphing style pattern. Surprise, surprise, that's what I do a lot of, so that's what I share a lot of. This one is one that I've been seeing in a lot of recent posts on social media, and I thought I had to give it a try for myself. It's just a very simple tag nymph. It's a quill body nymph with a tag, and I want to show you a product that I haven't used in my videos in quite a while. And I don't know why, because I really like using it. It's Hemingway quills. This one, synthetic tapered peacock quills. The real quills are hard to get right now. The synthetic quills, they can make them really easy. And the one I'm going to show you here in the video, it's like a metallic colored. And the color shows up real well. That's one thing I like about it. I'll show you both in the video here. I'm going to show you both the metallic and the transparent. Sorry, I couldn't think of what the word was. The transparent quills. And I use the transparent quills all the time, especially on my dry flies and stuff. This one is more for a nymph to catch the fish's eye, and it's really flashy, and I think you're going to like it. So here you're going to see a picture of the fly in the vise and then the material list to tie it. Okay, here you see the tag quill body nymph. Really cool, really simple fly. Let's get into tying it. For a hook, I'm using one of our Holsinger Fly Shop Jig Hooks. This one's a size 16, and I like to tie it small. Tie it in 14s to 18s. For a bead, I'm using a 3.0 on this one. I would go with like a 2.5 to a 3.0. I tend to go on the heavy side. I like to make sure I get down. For thread, I'm using 70 Denier fluorescent Chartreuse. I want to keep this thin, so I'm using thinner thread. Next thing we're doing is we're going to put a tail on. I'm using some Coq De Leon for the tail. And use whatever shade you have of it. This is medium Pardo, but you're not... These things vary so much that the dark Pardo looks real close to the medium Pardo, and use whatever you can get your hands on is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to set that on there. I want this tail to be about the length of the body, not too long. That's a hair long. So what I do is I make about 4 or 5, not loose wraps, but looser wraps, so I can adjust the length of my tail and then tie it down. Now, next thing I'm going to use is this piece of synthetic tapered peacock quill from Hemingway. And you can see there's two sides to it. This is metallic. There's a dark side and a light side. And I'm going to tie it on with, there's a sticker side, which is all silver, and then a colored side. I'm going to tie it with the colored side towards the fly. Because when I wrap it, then that metallic side will wrap down on the body. The sticky side will wrap down on the body. So wrap it on there lightly, just to hold it into place, and then as you bring up towards the bead there, you can make tighter wraps. Then we're just going to gently start wrapping this on. And this is actually the second fly I'm tying with this piece. So these are a little bit bigger segments I'm getting here. The first fly that I showed you was the first fly that I tied out of this strip. And I can get 3 if I'm really careful. If I'm not using the metallic ones, I can definitely get 3 out of the synthetic tapered quills. Here, I'll show you a piece. This is the non-metallic. This is the transparent quills, which I really like to use the transparent quills too. But these metallic ones really pop a little bit brighter, so that's why I'm using it on this one. I want a flashy fly this time. Next thing I'm going to use is some Glo-Brite, and this is actually 4 strands of the thread, the Glo-Brite thread, all pinched together to make one strand. And I'm just going to set that down on top of the fly, put it right there so it wraps like right into the groove of the bead. Make about 4 or 5 wraps there, and we'll cut that off. Now I always leave it a little bit long so I can trim it to the length I want later. The last thing we're going to add is just a little bit of chocolate brown SLF Prism dub. And I mean a little. I want 2 wraps top with this stuff. I want to keep the thinness of this going. So get that wrapped on there. Come in and whip finish to make a little green color. You could use pink thread here, whatever color you want. But just make my whip finish, tie that off. And then for this tag, I'm going to pull these fibers up. And I'm going to trim it about halfway back that body. And there I got just a nice little bright tag to catch the fish's eye with. And a nice quill-bodied little nymph. So I really like this pattern, and I hope you do too. Alright guys, I hope you like that pattern. It's a fishy looking little fly, and you know, it's a typical Euro style nymph pattern for me. Keep it thin, that's the key. With Euro patterns, if you open my box, you know, I was guiding over the weekend and I was showing the guys, giving some demonstrations on Euro nymphing, and every time I talked to a different guy, I would say, look at my box, look and see what you see is the common thread here, and everything is very thin. This fly is no different. Keep your wraps to a minimum, don't build up that body too much, and it'll catch fish, and it'll sink right to the bottom. So that's the key. That's what you want to happen. You want the fly to get to the bottom in the fish's face as quickly as possible, and you want it to stay there. So any of the materials, these Hemingway synthetic tapered quills, you can find them at our website at holsingersflyshop.com. And if you have any questions on anything, you can always drop it in the comments, or you can email me at holsingersflyshop@gmail.com. So, guys, I love bringing these videos to you, and you know, if you need any custom tying or anything, just shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to work with you. Until next week, guys, when I bring you another video, I'm Shawn Holsinger.